Acha ji. So this is the basketball game that we had created last time. Today we are going to work on the same thing, but we are going to try to see that how can we turn this basketball game into a you can say ping pong game. A ping pong game works very similar way. It works on a very similar way, just like a basketball game. All you have to do in this game is that instead of having this hand and basketball, what you can have is a ball and a flat paddle, and the ball can hit the paddle, it can go back in the air and so on. And every time this happens, what you are going to do is you are going to get a point for that. And if you lose the ball, or if the ball misses the hand and touches the red line, you are going to lose the game. Not lose a point, actually lose the game. So let's first write out the objectives of this game, of this ping pong game. And we are going to use the same code that we have made for the basketball game. Just alter a few little things in it, and then try to recreate it as a ping pong game. I'm just going to show you how to do it. A basketball game and a ping pong game are a little different. Instead of the hand, we are going to use a pedal. I don't know how to make that. Maybe this is it. That's correct spellings for the pedal. So instead of the hand, we are going to use a pedal. The logics are going to be a little different. First different logic is we will not net the ball. Currently, we are getting points when we net the ball. When the ball goes into the net, we get a point, and the ball disappears and comes back. So this ball does not need to disappear and come back. This would keep on floating in here. Uh, the next thing that we need to do is currently what is happening is if we miss the hand and the ball touches the bottom red line, we lose a point, or the opponent scores a point, or the opponent can score a point. But what we can do is in this game that instead of losing a point, we are going to lose the game if the ball touches the bottom. If the ball touches the bottom red line, we are going to lose the game. Lose the game when the ball touches the line sprite. So if the ball touches the line sprite, we are going to lose the game. So the rules are very simple. The game is already 50% cooked. We just need to season it with the things that we need. Let's say we do not need this hand, and instead of this hand, we need a petal. So I am going to simply go to its costumes and change its look from a hat and to make it look like a petal. And in order to make it look like a pedal, I'm not going to do anything with this hand. I'm just simply going to delete it. Put a rectangle here, something like that. Select this rectangle and bring it in the middle. I can change the colors of this rectangle by using this fill tool. If you want the rectangle to look more like you can say interactive, so you can give it some good gradient, maybe like that. This one also, let's try to make it brighter and red. You can swap these colors so the bottom color goes to top and the top color goes to bottom. The pedal length and width is quite fine. One thing that you can do is go to its edges, these edges. Currently, these are pointed. You can make them curved, and they would look something like that. Similarly, you can do the same with these as well. And now your pedal is going to look like this. You can select any individual point, bring it here, bring it here also. So now you have the shape to be a little flatter, and it looks more like a rounded rectangle instead of a plain oval shape. See? Learning on how to change the shapes is kind of a very important thing. This would give you a lot of options so that you can change your character's shapes according to your needs. So this is like a paddle that we have just created. We need to tell where the paddle would be when we start the game. So for that, we are simply going to go to this paddle's code, tell where to start. So let's say we ask it to start somewhere in the middle like that. So that is where this character would be when you start this game. It's going to be here in the middle. And this position is minus 150. So I need to keep it to minus 150 instead of minus 130 also. And this is where your character would be. Now the background is not suitable for this game. So let's say we change it. I choose the backdrop and I choose this backdrop. I can get this a little above also, this line. Let's say that it starts at minus 140 instead of minus 150, and that would be somewhere here. This red line at the bottom, I can change its size in the costumes so that it covers up till you can say the all that brown part that we have. So done. And this red color is matching a lot this red color, so we can change it to some different color. Let's say black would be fine in that case. So we change it to black. So that's perfectly fine for me now. Make it more neonish by adding this blue color to it. So this sprite, we are not going to need it right now, so we will delete that. So the line is there, the hand is there, and the basketball is there. So all the things are in place. But as you see, the backgrounds suddenly changed to this backdrop 4. So I need to make sure that this backdrop is blue sky whenever the flag is clicked. So I'll go to this and this one. Switch backdrop to blue sky when we start playing. So when this happens, what is going to happen is that when we press the flag now, this game is going to start like that. Currently, this game would work fine. The only thing that you would have problems with is how this game starts and you are not getting any scores. So you need to get scores every time your ball goes back in the air. For that, what you need to do is just change the code here a little. So if this ball touches the hand, it turns 90 degrees. After that, you are going to get a point. So in order to get a point, what you need to do is go to variables, change my score by 1. So now this is going to start happening. Whenever the ball touches this, you get some score for that. Previously, you know that the game we made in which we had this rule that if we were able to score 5 points, we would win the game. And this is the loop for that. So I need to take this one out, actually take all of them out like that. I don't need this code anymore because I need to just see my score. And also I need to figure out what happens if the ball touches the line. So if the ball touches the line, we are not going to change opponent score now. Instead, we are going to make sure that we hide the ball. That's it. Nothing else after that. And we tell that we have lost the game. So in order to lose the game, I'm going to go to this backdrops option, change this loser backdrop. I don't need it. So I'm going to delete this also, delete this as well. Just duplicate this one and write lost, and that's it. Certainly, if you want to win it, what you can do is write a code for winning as well. Write a code for winning as well. So the code for winning would be that, let's say that if you score 50 points or 100 points, you will win this game. So this basketball code is here. Now you can change this basketball sprite also to some other sprite, but the code would be the same. Now you can tell that how do you win this game. And in order to show how do you win this game, let's say we duplicate this one, add it here. And instead of if touching line, we are going to check if the score is equal to 50. Go to variables, pick up the score variable and put it here. If the score is equal to 50, you're going to hide everything, stop everything. So go to controls and pick up the stop all block, put it here. Pick up the stop all block, put it here, and the losing cause also. But just pick up this switch backdrop to and put it here and here as well. So currently what you have is you have two backdrops, right? One for the regular game and one for the loser, but you do not have a backdrop for the winner. So let's say I duplicate that also and I change this one to you won. So now I have three backdrops. One for the winner, one for the loser, and one for the blue sky, empty one in which we are going to play the game. Now, if you see this basketball code, this game is now working fine. We do not need opponent score, so that is why I am going to change opponent score here. But if you play this game now, you would see that all you have to do is just keep on getting the ball. The ball size needs to be a little bigger and that would work fine. Currently, the ball size is very small. So that is why the ball is giving this problem that it touches that and then goes past beyond it as well some of the times. So you need to make sure that the basketball size is a little bigger. So if now you let's say score 50 points, you would be able to win this game. As you can see that I have not changed a lot of things with that. With reference to that basketball game, I almost use the same processes, the same kind of objects, but somehow my game is little different because it has different logics. So this is basically a process which is called modularization. In modularization, what programmers would do is, what coders would do it, they would make a small program and would keep it with them for a longer period of time, and then when they need to use a similar program, they can just make some changes into that, like we made some changes in the background, some changes in the character, some changes in the logic, and we now have a totally different game which does not behave the way the previous game was behaving. So if you score 50 points, it is saying that we lost because we have switched to backdrop loser. Instead, we need to switch to this backdrop. So in that case, your game would be working perfectly fine. Now, what you need to do over till tomorrow is that try to change these game settings and try to bring it. Actually, do not change it. Actually, what you can do is save it as a new game and you can call it a ping pong game. And then you would have two games now. One basketball game that you made, it had the similar, very similar rules, very similar logics, but a little different in its layout. Now you have another game, which is ping pong game, which is very similar to the basketball game, just have a few changes, and
Sir,
that's working perfectly fine. Yes,
sir, my ball is not working.
your ball is not moving.
No, when it's on the edge, it gets stuck.
Have you used if on edge bounce?
Yes.
Can you show me the code?